Hey guys, what is up? This is Keisha and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk with you all about low self-esteem in adults. Yes, low self-esteem in adults. If you have not checked out my last video, make sure you check that out. In the last video, I talked about self-sabotaging behavior and some of the reasons why some of us actually participate in that behavior, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. And one of the biggest reasons why we may participate in self sabotaging behavior is due to low self esteem. Yes, low self esteem. Low self esteem is something that is extremely prevalent in our society. And to me, I feel like that it is probably not talked about enough. So, on today, we are together going to take a few minutes out of our time to briefly discuss self esteem. So, let's first start off by defining what self esteem actually is. Now, according to Merriam Webster, it is defined as the confidence and a satisfaction in oneself. It is defined as the confidence and a satisfaction in oneself. Self esteem is your own personal view of your value and your worth as a person. This is important because this is the perception that you have about yourself. And that simply means that it is purely subjective. It basically is your opinion is based off of your feelings or your emotions, but that doesn't mean that it's actually rooted in facts. Okay, so essentially, you can feel like you aren't good enough. You can feel like you are not attractive enough, or you're to this or you're to that, but that doesn't mean that it's actually true. So, with that being said, many of us actually develop this negative perception of ourselves because we may not look like people who society says is attractive. We also develop opinions about ourselves based off of our past experiences. So, for instance, I was the little chunky kid with the gaps in my teeth, right? So for me, I was always placed in the friend zone, right? I was a very friendly kid. I was very nice. However, because I was a little thickums, I equated what society said was attractive, and I deemed myself unworthy. I deemed myself as unattractive, right? And I developed a negative perception of myself. This perception rode the wave into my adult years, and by this time, I am dealing with low self esteem. It has manifested itself as low self esteem, but I did not know it. I did not know that I was dealing with low self esteem. So, as an adult, a low self esteem showed up as negative self talk. Okay, it showed up as being extremely critical of oneself. And so, what that looks like is for you, it may look like you're always focusing on your negative qualities. I know that's what I did. You always focus on your negative qualities about yourself. You are extremely critical, like I said. You struggle to acknowledge the good things about yourself. You don't acknowledge your achievements, right? The next thing that tends to happen is you don't accept compliments very well. Have anybody ever given you a compliment and you like try to downplay it? Like they'll say, "Oh, that's a cute blouse you have on." You be like, "Oh, this old ugly thing," or "This old thing, I got this thing on clearance." You kind of, or "I got this from the secondhand store." Like somebody's giving you a compliment, but you're downplaying it, right? So if you do that, sometimes this is a manifestation of low self esteem. And you may not know that this is actually a sign of low self esteem. Number three, you feel failure because you want everything to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Okay. Perfection is one of those things that a lot of people struggle with, but underneath that current, it could really be a sign of low self esteem. Another thing is that you may compare yourself to other people, and you may often feel like you don't have what it takes. You may feel like you are an imposter of some kind. And let me just be the first to tell you, comparison is the thief of so many things, but it is definitely the thief of joy. Next, the next thing or another reason, I'm sorry, another way in which low self esteem can manifest itself in adults is that you have this innate need to always be a people pleaser. When you struggle with low self esteem, sometimes you can damn near break your neck trying to make other people happy because essentially you want recognition. You feel a sense of value in that moment because remember, when a person has low self esteem, they aren't satisfied within themselves. So, external validation is very, very important to them. It's an important part of making them feel valuable in some type of way. Even though they are already extremely valuable, they don't know it, right? So, that is another way that low self esteem manifests itself in adults is people pleasing. Another way in which low self esteem manifests itself in adults is you constantly feel guilty or blame yourself for things when they go wrong or when they are falling apart. This goes back to the first point that I made, and that goes back to negative self-talk and being overly critical of yourself. Okay, when you're always blaming yourself and you always feel guilty, when you feel like, man, I can never get anything right. Yeah, when you're always down on yourself, that's a sign of low self esteem in adults. Okay. Another thing is you fear rejection. So you may isolate yourself from people and social settings, right? So if you've never been rejected, consider yourself really lucky because rejection don't feel good at all. And so for some of us, many of us who have dealt with low self-esteem, we pretend we tend to protect ourselves because we have been hurt in the past. So we keep ourselves from getting close to people in our present and our future for the fear of rejection because we don't want to be hurt again. So ask me how I know. Yeah. Okay, so let's move along to the last and final point of how do we know or how low self-esteem manifests itself in adults. And the last thing is toxic friendships, toxic romantic relationships. You lack boundaries. Okay, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. Y'all can put two and two together. Okay, all right, so because I'm of that frame of thought. You teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. I know how you feel about yourself based on how you allow other people to treat you. That part. Okay. All right. So I want to shift into talking about how you can work on your self esteem. If you're an adult and you struggle with any of these issues, I want you to remember that it can very well be low self esteem. I want to encourage you to get onto your path of healing. Okay. So, first, I want you to start with practicing self compassion. Yeah, I said it. Learn to be kind to yourself, learn to be gentle with yourself, learn to love yourself. This is something that was a struggle for me. And I still work daily at it. This is a daily job for me. Understand that you did not learn to be mean to yourself overnight. So you will not learn to be kind to yourself overnight. You have to relearn behavior. And being compassionate to yourself is one of the behaviors that you're going to have to relearn. Okay. So I want you to stop calling yourself stupid or dumb when you mess up. Use those moments to give yourself grace. Please use those moments to give yourself grace. So in that very moment, if something happens, like I had something happen, I think I opened the refrigerator and something fell out, a bowl of food or something fell out. This was some time ago, and I did not destroy myself like I would normally do. I just, in that moment, I told myself, you know what, Keisha, it's okay. Accidents happen. All right. So I just was able to give myself grace, right? Another way to heal from low self esteem is to create goals. Yes, create goals, but you're going to create realistic goals. You're going to create realistic to do lists, task lists, your goal list, your weekly to-do list, whatever you have to do, okay? So as you complete those goals, that will in turn build your confidence in yourself, okay? So I love having me a good little to-do list or a checklist. It makes you feel so good when you are able to complete those things, okay? All right, next, I love affirmations. Do you some affirmations, have you some affirmations, and then whatever it is that you're struggling with, make sure you write the positive and put them on some sticky notes. I have random love notes throughout my house. I call them random love notes. They're just words of affirmations, but I have these random love notes throughout my house that I leave in different parts of the house, and I read them aloud when I'm in the area of the house. Okay, so by doing this, it will help to rewrite that negative narrative that you have come to believe about yourself. So this is very important, guys. Okay. And another thing you're also going to do is you're going to establish boundaries and create positive environment. Establish boundaries and create a positive environment. You do this by learning to say no. Some of y'all are yes people and y'all love people pleasing. Learn to say no. And you may also, if you have a really, really long history of doing this, you may need to enlist the help of a therapist in order to create a positive environment. So because that is an area not of my expertise, being a therapist, but you may need help creating a positive environment, and that will be based off of your specific needs. But I can tell you this, intense self-care can also help you overcome and tackle low self-esteem, because people who implement self-care on a regular basis keeps low self-esteem at a very far distance, because they know that loving themselves is a must and it is a requirement. Okay, so I hope that this video helped. I will do more of these because I just feel like, you guys responded pretty well to them. And everything, but I hope that this helps you, and I look forward to giving you more in the next video. But before I go, let me ask that you guys subscribe, like, comment, leave a little note or something below in the comment section. And also, let me properly introduce myself if you are new here. My name is Keisha. I formerly go by Arthur K.O. Sterling, but my name is Keisha, and I write introspective books, ebooks, and audiobooks, and even journals to help pull you from the emotional wreckage caused by the wears and the tears of life. So that is who I am. That is what I do. And yeah, welcome to my channel. And I definitely look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Okay. All right.